So let's have a quick detour toward information theory and then we'll discuss what is entropy in this lecture because it will be useful in order to make our decision tree. So first of all, what is information? So this is a special branch and especially electronic science covers this and it is very much useful in communications as well. So firstly, what is information? So Shannon's theory, so Shannon is considered as the father of information theory and he said that information can be considered as a resolution of uncertainty. So what is information? Information is resolution of uncertainty about some statistical event. So what does it mean? Let me just break it out. So like let's consider before any events occur, any event like whether we are tossing a coin or anything, before any event occurs, what we can say that there will be uncertainty. So there is certain amount of uncertainty associated. But after event occurs, like after the occurrence of the event, what we can say that there will be some information gain. So we'll be having some information gain because now we know the event has already occurred. So what do we gain from that event? Before it was just an uncertainty. Hope this is very intuitive. So what he said was this is very important and this is very useful in real life as well, that amount of information is inversely proportional to probability of the occurrence of that event. What does it mean? It means that if the probability of occurrence is really high, then the information that we get from that event is really low. And it is obvious that we know that something is going to occur, then its probability is really high. So there is nothing information associated with it. But if there is the probability is really low, then what we can say, our information gain from that event will be very much high. For instance, if I'll say sun rises in the east, then its probability is 1. We know that there is nothing to gain about in that. But if there are certain rare events that are happening in the world, then there will be a huge amount of information in it. For instance, right now, we are all the entire world is focusing on the Afghanistan, the crises that are going on. So we don't know what will happen next. So there is a huge amount of information associated, and that's why the news channels and everyone is focused over there because there is a lot of information and news channel only wants information, right? Which is not like not certain like sun rises in the east. News channel won't show like sun rises in the east. They will show something that has more information. So this is what Shannon said. So mathematically, the Shannon said, just I'm writing it mathematically, that the information of any event x, or let me write in information theory terms. So I'll say that this is a symbol x. So we have some source capital X and it is emitting, let's say, some symbols. So I'm just considering any random symbol x1 x2 up till let's say n symbols it is transmitting, or we can consider this as messages. So I'm just considering a x message or x symbol. So this we can say it is inversely proportional to probability, but what we'll do is that we'll take log and to the base 2 just to have units as bits. So we can say that this is the information associated with any event. Now why I am discussing all this? Because after that we are focusing towards entropy, and entropy is related to information, and that's why I am focusing on it. So now comes entropy. That what is entropy now? So again, as I said, consider my source x and it is emitting x1 x2 up till xn symbols. So what I can say that the entropy of the event is defined as statistically averaged amount of information. So if we'll take the average of this information, then what we'll get is the entropy. And mind this, this is statistical average. So we'll take the expectation. So the statistical average is the expectation operator. So we'll take just this, and we know that this is minus log x, log of p of x, I can say. Now I am considering for source x, so I am just writing capital. And we know it ranges from, so expectation, we know what we'll do. Definition of expectation is that we'll sum over all the events, but we'll multiply with the probability as well. Okay, let's have small n because we considered here small n. So across all the symbols that this source x is transmitting, we'll take the weighted average. So this is just the occurrence of this event or this message xi, and I'll take the weighted average. And obviously it will be in bits per symbol. So the simple thing for a binary source, let's say we have a binary source now. So it just emits two symbols, either 0 or 1. So let's say the occurrence of like the probability of occurrence of 0 is p, then obviously 1 will be 1 minus p because probability summation should be 1. So what will be the entropy? So entropy, it is usually denoted by h of x. So I'll write just h of x from now. So h of x of this binary source is just p log 1 by p plus 1 minus p log 1 minus p, sorry, 1 upon 1 minus p. Can we write like this, or we can write like this? Here I am writing here that it's minus p log p and minus 1 minus p log 1 minus p. See, so if I'll plot this for the binary entropy source, I'll just plot this graph, and you might have seen this many a times. So this will be like this. Sorry, let me draw it again. It will be like this, and this is, let's say, p, then this will be h of p. So if you will put p as 0.5, that is if my both symbols are equiprobable, you will get the maximum probability, entropy, which is 1. So we can say that when my symbols are equiprobable, we'll get the highest entropy. And entropy is also considered as the uncertainty. So when we'll be having equiprobable things, then uncertainty will be highest. And if we'll move the either side, either left or right, our entropy will decrease. So this is the definition of entropy. Now you might wonder like how it will be useful in decision tree. So that we will see step by step, but let me just go slowly step by step. Now there is one important term called mutual information, and it is also written as or called as information gain. And mutual information is nothing but the reduction, I am writing the definition, the reduction in the uncertainty of x due to the knowledge of y. So let's say we have two random variables or two symbols or two sources, that will be good, two sources x and y. Then what is the reduction in uncertainty of x due to knowledge of the other one, let's say y. So here let me write what are x and y are two sources which are emitting their symbols. So mutual information, which is nothing but information gain, and this will be used in building our decision tree, and we will see how. So let me write mathematically that mutual information between two sources x and y, mathematically is written like this with semicolon, is nothing but reduction in uncertainty of x. Yeah, so this is the uncertainty of x, that is our entropy of x, how much it is reduced. So you can see we are subtracting something but given y. So what does this mean? This means that what is the reduction in the entropy of x or the uncertainty of x, provided now y is already known. Or we can frame the definition other way around by just interchanging x and y. So I can say reduction in uncertainty of y due to knowledge of x. So in other terms I can write like this: y given x can be written as, it's cumulative, so you can write anything, h of y minus h of y given x. And this is what we are going to utilize indirectly. So we will be calculating h of x by our definition that I just showed you, but this will calculate because we'll be having our data set. So this will calculate a little bit differently, not will not go by the exact definition, but you will, if you will compare, then we are doing the same thing at the end, but I'll not go with the exact definition. I'll just show you the method that how we are going to do this. So this is called mutual information or information gain. So let's quickly move towards our data set. So I'll be considering a data set. You can see here that I have this data set, and this slides I am using from TU Darmstadt, and these are the acknowledgements for this. So all credits to this. I'm just utilizing it for explanation purpose. So this will be the data set. So sample data set is given here. That just forget about day. We are not considering this anymore. But the main features are temperature, outlook, humidity, and windy. So based on this four, we'll decide whether we'll play our game of golf or not. Now, based on this data, we have to train our model, or we can say we have to build our decision tree. And then we have to say, for today or tomorrow, we have to predict whether we will play or will not play. It's just like a prediction that we can make in order to play golf or not. So how to make the decision tree? So here you can see a sample decision tree is being made, but how I will decide that I'll start with the outlook, correct? That because we have four features: temperature, outlook, humidity, and windy. And here I'll calculate the entropy. And based on entropy, I'll say information gain because it's related to entropy only. So I'll calculate information gain, and whichever feature will give the highest gain, I'll select that as my first node, or I can say root node. So the first node from which our decision tree starts is called root node. So you can see the outlook is the first node. So we'll see how outlook is considered as the very first node. So let's start. So we'll discuss all these algorithms, and we'll also see what scikit-learns use as well. So firstly, what we are doing, which attribute to select as root node. So outlook, temperature, windy, or humidity. For that, what we'll need, or information gain. So but the curtains are already taken up because we know that we'll take outlook, and that's why I crossed all this, but we'll see how. Now these are the things what I discussed, and I also plotted this. Now what our first task is, that we'll calculate the entropy. So let me just go towards my blackboard, and here what I'll do is, so I'll be doing back and forth from here. So let me just go to the example. Yes, so here is what the gain is. So information gain, we have this formula here, information gain. So firstly our task is to find our h of x or h of y. So let me just find first h of y, and then we'll find this thing, that is conditional. So let's do that first. That given, firstly let's consider humidity. Now if we'll consider humidity as our root node, then what will happen? So I'll be doing back and forth a little bit in this data set, because data set is given really above. Yeah, so when we'll be having humidity as our parameter, then what we can say, let me just have one fresh slide or window for the data set so that we don't have to do back and forth. So yeah, here it is. So it's the same thing, but from some other university, but the example is the same. So here's the data set, and I'll go back and forth in this through here. So yeah, now I can go down real quick. Yes, yeah, so you can see that if I'll consider humidity as my root node, then what will be the information gain? Let's try to calculate it. So for that, firstly I'll need my h of x or h of y, I can say. So firstly I'll calculate h of y, that without considering anything, we don't know that we are considering humidity as root node, we are just having our h of y. So how we'll calculate h of y? Here you can see that this is my target column. Let me have this thing. Yeah. So here you can see this is my target column. Sorry, play tennis, yes or no. Here it's tennis, but you can consider golf, anything like any sports that we can play. So let's have golf here so that we are on the same track. So you can see from here that how many times we have yes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 times we are having yes, and our total is 14. You can see we have 14 days. So 9 times we will play the golf, and of course the remaining 5 times will not play the golf. So what will be the entropy of y? That is playing tennis irrespective of our anything, like whether we'll choose this as a root node, this as a root node. We don't know anything. Huh? We don't know that outlook is sunny. We are just calculating the uncertainty of playing the tennis or the golf. That's it. So what will be this? Because what will the play of playing? So let's say p of y or p of yes of playing. What will be the probability? Out of 14 we are getting 9 times, so 9 by 14. And what will be for no? It will be 5 by 14. This is 5. So what is the entropy? Simply it's minus 9 by 14 log to the base 2 of 9 by 14 and minus 5 by 14 log to the base 2 of 5 by 14. And if you will calculate this, what you will get is something around, let me just have it from here, you will get something around 0.9, wait, yeah, 0.94. Here you can see we'll get from 9 positives and 5 negatives, that is 9 times we'll play and 5 times we won't play. We get our entropy as 0.94. So what I'll do is I'll just, again I'm here, so what I'll write is here we are getting 0.94. So if I'll go into my blackboard, let me go from here, this thing we calculated and this we got as 0.94. Now our task is, let's consider first, as I considered first as our humidity. Let's say humidity is my root node. So we'll say that my x is already known now. That now I know my root node is humidity. So what will be the reduction in my entropy, that is h of y that we calculated here? How much will be it's reduced after knowing it? Because if we know about something about that event, the uncertainty will be reduced, and that's why it is also called conditional entropy. So let's see what will happen in this case. Now let me just erase this and we are good to go. Now what will happen? This was our slide. Now if we consider humidity, so let's say humidity, you can consider here that we have two parameters. Humidity is either high or humidity is either normal. So when humidity is high, you can see when humidity is high, how much times we are getting yes? 3 times we are getting yes. So just verify here that if humidity is high, this is 1, this is second, and this is third. So 3 times we are getting, let me just mark it, that we are getting here, the color should be red, it will be better to visualize. So this will be first time, second time, and this will be third time. So 3 times I am getting yes, and how many times I am getting no? Let me just tick it for yes. And when humidity is high, we are getting no as here and here and here as well and here as well. So 4 times we are getting no. So here you can see 3 times we are getting yes, that's why it's written 3 positive, and 4 times we are getting no. So now what we'll do is we'll calculate entropy of this, that is when humidity is high, what is happening. So what is the entropy associated with this, that we'll calculate. And this will be also simple, that the entropy in this case will be how many times we are getting 3 times. So I'll write 3 of total 7 log 3 by 7, of course minus sign, and 4 by 7 log 4 by 7. So this will get as 0.985. Now, since we have two cases like humidity as high and humidity as normal as well. So in normal case, again if you will see here, in case of normal, how many times yes and how many times no? 6 times yes and 1 time no. So again if you will follow this procedure, you will get this as our entropy. Now our task is what we have done. Now we know that what we are reducing our uncertainty, because we know that we are just calculating for humidity. We don't care about rest of the things. We are just caring about humidity. So this we already know. This is our h of y, and this is h of y given x. Correct? So this we already calculated previously. Irrespective of anything, we get 0.94. And on conditional thing that we are knowing conditioning on humidity, then what we can say, that we are getting for high humidity we are getting 0.985 as our entropy, but we'll weight it based on, because in total we have 14, yeah, and of 14, when humidity is high, how many times we are having high humidity, irrespective of yes or no, how many times we have high humidity? 7 times. 4 plus 3, so I'll weight by 7 by 14. And the same thing here, that again how many times? 7 times we are having normal. Yeah, 7 points we are having when we have humidity as normal. So out of total 14, again 7. So I'll summarize that. Firstly, we have to calculate this irrespective of anything, any condition, we don't know anything, and this will be our h of y in our formula of our information gain or mutual information, that is h of y minus h of y given x. So what we'll do is, first we'll calculate this, and in order to calculate this, firstly we'll check for humidity, that what are the different parameters that humidity can take, either high and normal, or we can say how many options are there, high and normal. So for high case, we'll find entropy based on how many times we are going to play the golf or tennis, or we are not going to play. And similarly for normal, we'll calculate the entropy, and then after getting this entropy, we'll just weight it by the total, that is out of total data set. Let me just show that total we have 14. So out of total, how many times we are having humidity as high? So 7 times. And how many times we are humidity as normal? So again 7 times. So we'll just weight this. So what this entire thing will get by some little bit complex procedure, like we have to first find entropy and then we have to weight it, and at the end we'll get is this thing 0.151. So let me just erase everything. I hope the procedure is now clear. So what we have to do is, we have to repeat the same thing. So this is just written because we the h of y, this is entropy irrespective of anything, we don't know, we are not conditioning anything. So this is our h of y entropy, whether we'll play golf or not, just based on yes or no. Then again we'll continue the same procedure on wind. Then we'll consider the same procedure for outlook, because since we have 4 features, you can see we have windy, humidity, temperature and outlook. So we saw for humidity, we'll continue the same procedure for all the 4 things, and we'll calculate the gain. And note that this remains the same for all. Yeah. So here the calculations are not shown, but if you will follow the same procedure, you will get this and you will get this. So now which one to select? Of course, the one with highest gain, because if I'll consider this as my root node or this feature, then it is giving me more information, or we can say the gain, information gain, to be precise in information theoretical terms. And that's why we choose our root node as outlook. So you can see here that, as I showed you, that we choose here the outlook, and that's why, where was it, yeah, so this was the tree that was made and outlook is considered first. Now we'll go further, like beyond. So let me just go quickly that how we are going to proceed from here. So now Outlook is selected as my root node. Let me just erase this. Now back to our topic again, that Outlook is selected as my root node. If you will see, in Outlook we have three things: whether it's sunny, it's overcast, or it's rainy. So whether it's sunny, overcast, or rainy, if you will see, in case of overcast, if overcast is yes, if there is an overcast, we'll always have yes. You can verify it from here. If there is overcast, we'll have yes. Overcast, we'll have yes. Overcast, yes. Overcast, yes. So just by seeing overcast, we can conclude that we are going to play or we are going to not play. So this we can say, here we are, this is our leaf node. That is, we are not further splitting this again. But what about Outlook, when Outlook is sunny and Outlook is rainy? Because we can't conclude, because sometimes when our Outlook is sunny we are having yes, and sometimes when it is having, it is no. So we have to split again in case of sunny and then rainy. So we'll do the same thing. So again, let's say here we will consider now that when Outlook is sunny, we'll consider the temperature. Then we can also consider humidity, and we can also consider windy. So again we'll follow the same procedure. Now if I consider temperature, then I'll see the three things: hot, mild, and cool. And based on this, we'll having two no's, then one yes, one no, and so on for all this thing. And again we'll follow the same procedure that we did. And if we'll find the gain, that is information gain, then we'll be having the highest gain for humidity. And that's why we'll say humidity will select. So on this node, we'll select humidity. So you can see we selected humidity. Now based on humidity, so we'll start from here, that if Outlook is sunny, we'll consider now humidity. If it is normal and if it is high, if it is normal, it's always yes. You can verify this from table. And if it's high, it's no. So no further split is needed, because we are having our decision that whether we will play or will not play. And the same thing we'll have to split here as well. So now we'll split again, and you will see that we'll be having windy now, because the only thing left is now windy. And you can verify this by just calculating the gain. And here we can say our decision tree is complete. And this is how decision tree is being made. So the simple thing to follow is that the tricky thing is, after calculating this h of y, let me just have it here, that this we calculate directly from just our target variable, that is, will play or will not play. Yeah, if play is yes or play is no. But this is little bit tricky. That is, when we are knowing something, that is, this conditional entropy requires, like, we have to first find the entropy and then we have to weight it based on the probabilities. So this is somewhat tricky, but if you will follow, I'll just request all of you to go through the features that I said. We'll follow the same procedure. So just for your understanding and just for the sake of completeness, just complete the entire tree or try to build the entire tree by calculating all this gain. And in programming, we don't have to do anything like this, right? In fact, even we don't use entropy in scikit-learn. Scikit-learn use something called as Gini impurity. So it is kind of like entropy, but it is far less simple, because entropy is involving like log calculations and all. That's why Gini impurity is one more measure. It is same as entropy. You will get almost the same result as of entropy, but Gini impurity is little bit easier to compute in terms of computation, because there is nothing like log and anything. So I'll just give you the brief hint about it, that what is Gini entropy, Gini index. So it's just this. It is Gini index is just calculated by probabilities. So you can see there is nothing involved here like logarithm anything, and that's why we'll use Gini. So next lecture is dedicated to this Gini entropy, and then we'll proceed to the programming part which uses this Gini. And you will see that this algorithm is being used by scikit-learn, CART, which is called classification and regression tree. And of course, decision tree can do regression as well. It's not like just we can do classification, and we'll see how this is also an important topic. So I hope you enjoyed the video. So we'll see each other in the next video. Thank you.